be recording on it. Alrighty, let's run it. So, okay, hopefully you guys can see this. All right, so setting goals. Everybody has heard about setting goals. I wanted to specifically just talk about this, and you guys can read what it says on the screen, but I wanted to just specifically go over this because I think sometimes when it comes to setting goals, I know for myself for a very long time, I would get down and discouraged and disappointed because I would set goals with the date and never hit it. Set goals with the date, never hit it. And it was just like this endless cycle. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before. And I would get so like discouraged with myself that I would like not want to set goals anymore because I was like, Abby, I had this identity around Abby sets goals and doesn't hit them. So, and then your self-worth goes down, your self-esteem goes down, and the whole 9 yards. So I want to talk about, some of you guys have seen this. This may be just a refresher, and that's okay. You can send this to your team. But essentially, they did a Facebook Live in one of the groups that I'm in, and they talked about how when you set goals, you want to be setting what they call activity goals. Because a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this too, and I think sometimes we can get so wrapped in like the result-oriented goal and not the activity-based goal. Because the result-oriented goal is important because that's like the vision, that's where you're going, that's what pulls you, right? So on and so forth. But the activity goal is how you win the day. The activity goal is what you reverse engineer the results-oriented goal around. It's what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week basis, month-to-month, all that good stuff. So setting your activity goal for the week. So I would say, this is kind of what they said, whatever you count as the start of the week. I count Sunday as the start of the week. You may count Monday, or maybe whatever you want to do Wednesday, it doesn't matter. I would recommend at the beginning. But let's say every Sunday, I'm encouraging you guys, this is like a call to action. If you haven't been doing this or aren't doing this or don't even know where to start, get a notebook. Okay. I like to write it out. I have everything literally listed in my phone, and I've got probably, I can't even tell you how many Google Docs of stuff, but I do have this written down for myself. Okay. Every Sunday, set your activity goals for the week, and they're probably going to be the same as last week, but it's good to write it down because of clarity. Okay. If you're not clear on something, you're not going to be confident with it. You're going to be disorganized. Okay. So get clear on the goals for the week. And what I mean by activity goals is, I'm going to read this out. Focus on activities that you will do. That you will take action on. Okay. Not on results that you will get. Oftentimes in trading, especially like when people are new, they set goals. They only set goals around the results that they're going to get. And then when they don't hit those results, they don't hit their like preconceived expectations. They get discouraged and whatever. What's interesting, Mike Navarrete talks about this a lot on his sessions. If you've ever watched, that's why I like watching his Sunday sessions at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Even if I miss it, I always go back because this is literally the stuff that he talks about. He was like, I don't set an ROI goal. I set a projected ROI goal because I'm not controlled around the result. I'm focused on the activity. So they basically ended up saying you can control your activities, but you cannot control your results, right? I cannot control who gets started with me this week, but I can control the activity, the things that I do, the production, right? Around the things that around the actions that I can take moving forward. So hopefully this is clear. You can obviously it's very important, set a results-oriented goal. But it's very important to reverse engineer that results-oriented goal, whatever that is for you. Let's say Houston is coming up in 35 days or so, or whatever it is, a little under 40 days. You have a goal for that, P600, P1000, whatever. You have a goal by the end of the year, whatever your goal date is. Okay, you have that goal. Now reverse engineer. How many people are you to that goal? Okay, XYZ. Let's say it's 5 people. Let's say it's 10 people. How many conversations should you be having on a daily basis? Okay, so just reverse engineering it. Cool. So I just, I put out some examples. This is kind of like what I stole from them. Guys, a lot of this stuff does not just come from me. I do my homework, put it together, apply. Okay, so examples, this is questions that you could be asking on activity-based goals. How many people will you prospect on a daily basis? How many follow-ups will you do? How many, personal develop, like how much personal development will you do? Let's say it's a video a day or something. Okay, I specifically put Ray Higdon because I'm just going to be honest with you guys based on the conversations I've been having and just again the results over time. A lot of like where we are, I don't want to say struggling, but like a lot of like where we need work is in our posture. Okay, it's in our posture, and you're gonna just literally like take in the right posture and start to like understand like that is the way that you need to be in building this business, and just in general when you're sharing this, when you listen to Ray Higdon, just something about how he's sharing things and the way that he breaks it down. He like he said on the video, he manages his energy really well, and he has very like on point posture. So specifically Ray Higdon, obviously if you guys want to watch something else, that's fine, do your thing, but if I'm going to give y'all a recommendation, I would say this guy. Okay, how many social media posts will you put up for the week? Cool. How many days, and this is just another example, but how many days will you exercise? Will you work out? That's obviously important. How many pages, this is another thing, how many pages of a book will you read? Okay, so these are just a couple examples. Obviously there's more, but of things you can set activity goals around. Okay, and I wanted to read this to you because I thought this was really important. Because a lot of times I think, and I've heard this, and not that it makes me cringe, but I just know like you can set big goals, but if I know your work ethic ain't big either, doesn't match it, I kind of cringe sometimes. I'm like, you have big goals, but you have trash work ethic. Just being real. Okay, so when you say your goals, your results oriented goals. Okay, honestly, even your activity goals. If you are so used to just adding 5 to 10 people a day, and then all of a sudden you want to tell me that you want to do this, XYZ amount of people, I'm like, okay, just know that's a big jump to just start doing consistently. And I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying based on what you've always done, you have to like understand the gap between that. Like just be real. Jessie Lee, if you guys have heard any of her podcasts before, I actually really appreciated the fact that she said this, because I think sometimes being in our profession, hype can get in the way of like what's real and what's not. And she said, when you set goals, like, yeah, you want like, you want to stretch yourself, of course, but also be real about it sometimes. Like, especially if you've never hit a goal in what we do before. Okay. Or maybe it's been a long time. All right. Anyway, so they said, be reasonable and action oriented in your short-term goals. Okay. These are the activity-based goals. Be reasonable and action-oriented in your short-term goals. Don't set goals. It's so important. Don't set goals that will have you beating yourself up if you don't reach them. Okay. And then when it comes to your results-oriented goals, say, be grand, be big. Okay. Stretch yourself. Be grand and results oriented with your long-term goals. Okay. So it's probably going to be goals around, what rank and how, people on your team impact, things like that. And obviously like whatever personal goals that you have. Okay. So that's step one, set your goals. These are just some examples. Step two, write down your goals on paper. They said, write it down on paper. And what I encourage you, again, you guys are going to do what you want, but I encourage you, and this is why, to share in our leaders group. And the reason being, this is literally what they said. It's not what I said. This is what they said. Okay. They literally they had a Facebook Live, and they had a description like that they wrote. I just took this. Okay. So they said share in their rank makers thing. Okay. I'm gonna send you my screenshot of me sending it in there. So I'm not just telling y'all to do it. I actually did it in there because why? It will provide you with some public accountability and offer inspiration to, everybody else, to the leaders. I'll give you a great example of this, actually. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call is in the SMG. I know we just called it SMG, is a social media group, if anybody's curious. I don't know why I said that, but that's what it is. I'm pretty sure everybody's in there on the call. And I want you to take a look at any time. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel this way for sure. If I see, also quick shout out to, I saw Mason posted last night. Let's go. Proud of you, bro. You've been consistent over the last few weeks. You have your Tuesday, Friday schedule set. But I want to shout out, and also Alex as well. She's been consistent on social. But I want to give a big shout out to Caitlin and Rachel for staying extremely consistent with their social media accounts. Literally, like, not just like posting like pictures and things like that, but like posting reels, and those are lit. And I know like they can be a lot of fun, but you also like start a lot of engagement, and you can start new things with when you do that. So I'm saying this because when I see you guys posting, I'm like, yo, I not like negative pressure, like I gotta post, but it's like, nah, like I'm inspired. Like, let me get a piece. Let me go get my piece. Let me go put out a reel I've been working on, or that I've been telling myself I need to work on, or let me go put out some value. So when you have that public accountability, it's not for me to be like, oh yeah, guys, here's my goals, but it's more so around like there's accountability there. They know, okay, we all know. And then you offer some inspiration because you're stepping forward, you're leading by example. And if you have the right mindset, you're going to be inspired. You're not going to be discouraged. Okay. So, all right. Anyways, that's that. And then physically writing them down is far more powerful than typing. So I put my goals on here as well. So as soon as I open up my computer, it says my goals. I have it on my phone. But I also write it down, notebook in hand, writing it down, first thing in the morning when I wake up. So it's becoming subconscious. I'm starting to like kind of embed that within myself. Anyways, you guys know that. Just wanted to say it one more time. All right. The number 3 is hitting your goals. And this is really powerful because I want you guys to ask yourself, you don't need to type it in the chat, but I want you to ask yourself, wait, what was I going to ask you? Okay, yeah, that was what I was going to ask you. I wanted to ask you guys, how often, I guess that's how I was going to say it. How often do you go without hitting your goals? When they said this, I was like, wow, it's really powerful. Have you ever set a goal for yourself? Let's say you didn't know that it was an activity goal, but maybe you set an activity goal for yourself of, I want to add 20 people a day or whatever. It's just an example. Okay. Or you're like, I want to put out 3 social media posts for the week. I'm just giving y'all an example. Have you ever gone 2 weeks without hitting your goals? You ever gone a certain amount of time from the time you set the goal with the date and then you don't hit it? I know I have. And when you do that over and over and over again, it can get discouraging. And then you just start to doubt yourself. You start to not only doubt yourself, then you start to doubt the system. Then you start to go to doubt your upline, your mentor, the company and the strategies and the tools that you're using. It's a whole domino effect. Okay. And I've been there. So this is really, really important. They said, don't go 2 weeks without hitting your goals. Because if you fall short, she said, if you fall short, adjust your numbers the following week. If you fall short, adjust your numbers the following week. And I thought this was really cool. She said, there is no trophy for size of goals. Like, who cares if you have the biggest goals in the room? I really don't care. You tell me your goal and it's this big grandiose goal that you have. That's awesome. I'm pumped for you. But again, if your work ethic is trash, you're disorganized, you're messy, you don't communicate, like all the above. It's funny, I put that on my story yesterday about how you can take this too. This is very important. Your personal life is how you are in your personal life is a direct reflection of how you'll be in your business. Is a direct reflection of how you will be in your business. So take a look at how you are when you handle things in your personal life, So it's going to show up in your business. If you don't communicate very well, you're gonna have a tough time. That's like the number one thing that Ray Higdon was talking about in that video. If you watch the whole thing, he was like, if you can't communicate, like, oh my God, good luck. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but I wanted to say that for you guys, and especially for the recording. So there's no trophy for size of goals. Okay. Obviously have goals that stretch you. Like if you keep having goals where you underperform, that aren't fulfilling, or at least, get you outside of your comfort zone and allow you to grow and stretch. Okay. That's kind of like where you want to be. It's your goals. I'm just saying. But yeah. So anyways, she said, it's okay to have low production weeks. Ooh, this is good, because I've had conversations where, and this is myself too, but over the last, I would say all of September, I feel like a lot of people kind of just felt off, or not like, normal or up to par, maybe with their standards or where they want to be. And that's like, I get it. And that's life. Caitlin, if you don't mind, I'm not going to say like details, but I'm just going to say from our check-in call yesterday, one thing that we had talked about is when you don't feel like maybe you're where you want to be in your business, or maybe you didn't hit like your goal for the week on an activity-based level. We talk about this all the time with trading. Zoom out, baby. Zoom out. Like, look at, instead of looking at the day, oh, I had a really bad day, or I had a really bad week. Like, look at the month. How did you do for the month? Look at the quarter. Look at the year. Some of y'all been here for 4 years. Where were you when you first got started? I actually got goosebumps saying that, to where you are right now. Okay. So don't beat yourself up so bad. I mean, trust me, I am my biggest critic, but at the same time, just, know yourself, give yourself credit where credit is due, but also, hold yourself down when it's like, yo, you got a little bit more in you. Come on, let's go. Or whatever. Okay. However you talk to yourself. So it's okay to have low production weeks, but don't have no production weeks. Y'all feel me? It's okay to have low production weeks, but don't have no production weeks. So that is really what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that this was helpful and maybe gave you guys some clarity, and you can go and apply this perspective into your goal setting, into your business. I was gonna tell you guys one more thing. I keep forgetting it. I think I've just got a lot on my mind. Anyways, we'll end it there. That was really the biggest thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Just get clear on those things. And just know that it's okay to be right here. If you go a couple weeks without hitting the goals that you set for yourself, activity-based goals, even results-oriented goals, maybe Houston comes up and you don't hit the goal that you have set for yourself, don't let that discourage you from setting goals again. And I know that may sound weird, but like, it's true. I've done that before, where convention to convention, I don't set like it's literally like, oh, I just want to be here again, or I just want to be at this level again, or whatever. Don't let it like make you feel some type of way about this whole thing, because it shouldn't. This is a process. Like, I want to give you guys one last example. I think this is what I was actually wanting to tell you guys. So I think I said this the other week, but I'll say it again because it's that important. So I forget if I said on this call or not, but basically I like to look at what we do in our profession a lot, like associated a lot with like traditional business. I know it's different, but that's how most people, like when they think of like going into business, they think of traditional business, brick and mortar, or now, with the online world, they think of like maybe an online business. Okay. Whatever. But when it comes to, does everybody know what a Pizza Hut is? I'm sure. Okay. So they said that if you wanted to open up your own franchise of a Pizza Hut, you have to put down $250,000. And they literally tell you when you are going to open up your little franchise that you will probably not break even for a decade. What the heck? Like, and people are like, it's totally normal to do that. Even like breaking even your first 1 to 2 years and opening up maybe something else. I couldn't give you an example right now, but just saying, like most businesses, they literally take like 2 to 3 years, sometimes a year. Their first year they break even, but 2, 3 years, sometimes even 5 years to just break even. So I know we have the opportunity to go to and free and all those other things within the platform to like kind of offset while you're on your, trading journey, investing, whatever. But give yourself some credit. Andy Frisella, the guy who put together the 75 hard program, like he talked about how I think I forget the amount of money, but like it literally took him a decade to make his first 6 figures in his business. So it's all good. Stop. I don't know if you guys are, but don't compare yourself. Don't judge yourself for where you're at with your results. Just be real about what your work ethic has looked like. Okay. Just get real about where you've been at, maybe on a mental and emotional level, and move forward. It's all good. Okay. So I want to share that with you guys. Hopefully this call was helpful, and you can take this and go and apply it. And if anybody on your team is looking for guidance and clarity when it comes to how to maybe effectively and properly set goals, so they're not beating themselves up when they set a goal to hit a certain amount in their trading account by a date, and then they don't, think that this works, or they get down on themselves. I know this is kind of a longer video, but actually it's not. I think it's like 25 minutes, but you can send this to them. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to stop recording. Bye, recording.